A few years back, my friend Allison was working at the Art Museum and she wrote me an email. She was curating a small exhibit at the Akron Art Museum that dealt with transportation. It was called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. She sent me 3 photos from the museum's collection of people kind of relaxing on bicycles. One was an old bicycle race and a couple things. And she said for the whole exhibit, she was trying to get community feedback on different people that might be involved in different transportation industries, or obviously she hit me up to say something about the bicycle thing. I think the thing, they put like kind of what I had written as a caption underneath the piece and then maybe in their magazine. But she basically asked me, like, what does cycling mean to you? So this is what my reply was as I'm reading it off this email. With cycling, it's almost hard to say anything because it is something that means almost everything to me. The 2 photos remind me of why I love it. It just gives me a huge sense of freedom. I remember being a kid and getting my first real bike. It was a way to get farther away from everything, especially the adults. And I guess it still is. It's something I use to get away from it all and clear my head or even challenge myself. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's something I use for a sense of community and friendship. So that was the quote I wrote, and I told her, feel free to clean this up and make me sound more intelligent. But I'm looking back on this and I'm thinking about how it's still very true and how I could even, kind of expand upon what I wrote as I've been writing even more and more since I initially wrote this. But when it comes to the thing about getting away from it all, and especially the adults, I find that, I think I probably thought it was kind of funny and ironic at the time too, because I obviously am an adult, and so are most of the people I ride with, all of them. But it still is that chance to get away and do something exciting and adventurous and go exploring. And I really do relate that back to remembering that as a kid, like, also growing up in the pre-cell phone era, we, left on our bikes as kids, and we would spend the whole summer day away from parents and any kind of authority figure, and we weren't doing anything horrible, but we were out having fun and exploring, and like they always say, we just had to be home in time for dinner. So we could be out like exploring, riding to a creek, catching crayfish, or we could just be exploring the neighborhoods over. I kind of grew up in suburbia, so it'd be winding through just all the subdivisions, and there are times where we got ourselves fairly far away without touching busy roads, and we had to figure out our way back. And yeah, I just love that. And that's the same thing we're doing now with exploring the abandoned roads and trails in different places and just trying to find something new. And it is, when me and my friends get out there, it still sometimes feels like we're kids just out there having fun. And I absolutely love that thing about cycling. Another thing that's interesting, and what I was kind of saying at the end, how sometimes it's something I use for a sense of community and friendship, that like really runs the gamut. And to me, riding so much and hanging out with other people who ride so much, one of the interesting things that has come about is that my riding kind of spans the whole normal social spectrum of life. It's one thing that could be a little complicated sometimes and hard to explain to other people, but so like when I'm talking about a sense of community, that's like going out to events that could be monthly, like Bike Party or Critical Mass or special event rides like I did a couple weeks ago, and when I'm going to do that, that's like kind of going to that art opening or, that community event downtown, whatever it may be. I'm going out to see the broader group of friends and acquaintances and meet new people, and it's a total social experience. That's what I'm going to do. But that's only one way to ride, and I think sometimes people don't understand there's a different ends of that spectrum where I would make the analogy of, say, my girlfriend is having a bonfire in her yard. She's going to invite me and very close friends, right? It's not like an open call to anyone who likes bonfires. And a lot of Fridays or Saturdays, that may be the kind of ride, I'm looking for or my friends are looking for. Me and my girlfriend and a couple close friends are going to ride, and that's our, personal social experience, our small group social experience, like likening it to that bonfire. Like, just because other people like to ride bikes doesn't mean every ride we do would be an open invite, so there's just those different things. I also, sometimes I go out and ride with just an old friend, and the analogy there I was thinking in my head is, you meet someone with your busy life, you don't get to see as much as you like to, and you want to have a personal conversation with them without all the work stuff going on or people coming up and, or just a broader friend group. Sometimes you just want to have that, what you have in common with that person in that conversation. In those kind of rides, like I said, the analogy is that cup of coffee or that after work beer, you're just riding one-on-one with another person and having that, much more intimate conversation that as we get older is much harder to do. And to be honest, unless a friend lives far away, I'm not a big fan of catching up on the phone. That's just not, long phone conversations are not my thing, and I would much rather do it on the bike. So yeah, and then, it's also vacation. Now when we plan our vacation, a lot of times it's a bike packing trip. That's just the kind of fun I like to have. So like when I say it means everything to me, it really does run the full gamut of everything that I like to do. So yeah, one of the big points being that I just always kind of want to say is, I'm not trying to be exclusive in certain things I do, but there is a time and a place for every different kind of social interaction. And when almost all your social interactions involve cycling, there is just times when it's limited and not as a negative. And then as mentioned in other videos, cycling to me could be that solo ride where it really is like my meditative experience. It's my chance to clear my head, be alone, think about things. It could be whatever from any aspect of life to work type stuff. You're just out there, and I really sometimes do get that, peace of mind, and it's just really good for my mental health to be outside, doing something physical, and, just getting to that kind of state of whatever, peace of mind, thought, meditation, whatever you want to call it. There's the obvious other things. It's, obviously good for my physical health as well. It is the way I mostly work out now. I'm never someone who really trains. I don't do interval type stuff or anything like that. But just, constant riding is obviously, that's just the way I stay in shape. There's the other things too. I have a car. I need it for my photo job and the lack of decent public transportation in this part of the country. So I have to have a car, but I don't like cars. I want to be in a car as little as possible. So it is the commuting thing. I ride it to photo gigs when I don't need a lot of gear or any kind of events. It is my transportation. Also, I do believe in the environmental benefits. Not that just me riding my bike is going to change the world, but, it still is doing it because it's the right thing to do, and hopefully setting some kind of example. And I have talked to other people who see what me and my friends do or other bike commuters, and they get into it too. So, hopefully it's that whole be the change thing that is the right thing. Anyways, yeah, another video just kind of, this email popped in my head, and I wish I could find the photos that she had sent me that led to this, but I can't. So yeah, that's it for this video. Go down into the description, check out my swag shop, buy some cool stickers, t-shirts, bandanas, something like that. Help support the channel if it's something you feel like doing, and I will see you in the next one.